Hi, it's Richard Silver, and I'm from the Silver Burtnick team at Sotheby's International Realty Canada. And I have on with me one of my favorite friends, Kevin Brown, who is part of the Feild team out of New York City, out of Manhattan. He's a wonderful guy. And a year ago, he and I were on stage in Chicago, and we were talking about adapting to a shifting market, which we're dealing with a pretty big shift in the market. And Kevin, how are you adapting? What's happening?
First of all, thank you, Richard. You're one of my favorites throughout the
Of
world,
course,
and I
of
always
course.
love being on stage with you. First thing is that I'm saving loads of money on razor blades.
Yeah, I
Uh,
noticed.
this is not normal.
I think Movember is the other part of the year. It's in the fall. It's not in the spring.
It is, but I think a lot of people are doing this just
Yeah,
to feel like they're accomplishing something. Obviously, New York City, right now is in the center of it all.
yeah,
The governor last night finally, or not finally, decided to reclassify real estate brokers as being essential,
yes.
which I'm not sure what effect that's going to have. We can
Probably.
now legally show.
Yeah,
Uh,
we are classified here as essential services as well, and all it really means is we're putting deals together. We're doing them electronically. We're not meeting face to face with clients. We're doing everything through Zoom. We should, both of you and I should be buying shares in Zoom and
Too late.
Pornhub. You've already bought shares in Zoom.
Yeah, we did. I got, and it's already been factored in. But it's there is a difference in New York City is that we weren't allowed to do open houses. Now we
Yeah.
are allowed, as of last night,
Oh,
to take people in one person at a time.
yeah.
I don't see New York City recovering very quickly, and this might be just the arrogance of being a New Yorker. But we always say that I know you shrug.
Well, you
We
guys,
always say that New Yorkers.
if anything, you're survivors for
Yeah,
sure.
but we also, just historically, we feel things first and we recover first.
Yeah.
And so, large parts of the United States is still where we were a month ago, which wasn't into denial as much as, this is just kind of interesting,
Yeah.
and now all of a sudden, it's become very personal.
Exactly.
So far I've lost two friends,
Oh my God.
and it was, and actually, and one of them, Zach
Yes.
from the
Yeah.
Metropolitan Club.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, once that happens, then it no longer is just something you're reading about. And we're looking at the forecast, really going back probably May, June, at the earliest. There are people who are going to be buying because of a need,
Oh
but
yeah,
they just
definitely.
have to have it. We're not going to have, I think, people buying any longer for a while because of want. But we haven't had those people
Yeah.
in a number of years,
Yeah.
and or for the last year. And but we are going to get people who are looking for investments,
Yes.
and that's going to be something new for us. Our market is very, very tight in terms of what something sells for compared to the last asking price. It's usually 2 to 3% off.
Right.
Now, all of a sudden, I think we're going to be getting people that are just looking for the greatest bargains
Of
that they can
course.
possibly get.
Yeah.
And but that's the rest of the world.
Yeah.
New York City, I mean, we are very unusual that we didn't really have that type of buyer. You know,
Yeah, our over the past couple of years in Toronto, it was normal to have 5 to 10 offers on one property that you as an agent thought was market value, but sold above market value. And then it's like a moving target to try and price something because you don't know what's going to happen.
Exactly. And so, but we're going to have the buyers coming in now, and you take, let's say, Greenwich, Connecticut. Greenwich, Connecticut. If somebody was asking $2 million for a property, it wouldn't be unheard of to offer $1.2 million, $1.3 million.
And this is
New York City,
before,
Manhattan. When I should say Manhattan,
yeah,
we just didn't have that. We never had that swing on the other
yeah,
direction,
yeah,
and yet at the same time, we didn't really have, like 5 years ago, you'd have a lot of overbidding that was happening. We didn't really have that either. We had a very like nice, steady, market,
yeah.
and
Well, you have a,
but we're going into a new world now, and hopefully it will be a kinder world, and a world where we slow down a little bit.
I mean, part of me and you, I know you and I are big travelers. We travel
Yeah.
all over the world. And I think this is going to curtail some of that. I mean, are you going to feel really confident about us? You're going to India, we go to China, we go to Dubai. We've really gone outside of our world to, attract people. And now that's really going to be curtailed.
It is for and unfortunately, a lot of you see what's happening in India right now,
Yeah,
and it's heartbreaking.
it is.
And but on the other hand, I think that we're going to see, because you deal in the high end and I
Hmm.
deal in the high end,
Yeah,
we're going to start seeing um, people who are no longer coming into, for instance, New York City, on Toronto, to looking for a safety deposit box,
right.
if you will, for real estate. Now they're looking for a safe haven, and it's a slight change. So while they'll talk in terms, this is my prediction,
Yeah,
in terms of investments and rate of returns and everything else, it really is more about a safe haven. And until New York, until the United States gets on its proper footing and becomes a safe haven again. I mean, right now we're anything but a safe haven, just because of our political situation and just what the virus is doing. I think people are going to start looking to Canada. They're going to be looking to the United States for a safe haven, because you look at those countries. Those countries are going to have a lot of political turmoil,
right.
and if you all of a sudden want to protect some of your assets,
Yeah.
you're going to be looking in other markets.
I had a conversation with a friend of mine a couple of days ago, and she's somebody I grew up with in Edmonton, Alberta. She was always into horses. She now sells horse farms and horse ranches in Boulder, Colorado. And she says they are people who are moving from the city. They're feeling more safe in the country, and they are right now transacting business in Boulder. And just
Right.
outside of Boulder to get the farmland, they feel more secure there health wise than they would if they were in a big city. And I think that might be something we're going to see more.
Yeah, I'm. It's kind of like there's two of us right now, you and me, on a conversation, and we'll have three opinions.
Exactly. we do anyways.
Exactly. So I mean, the cities are always, say, for instance, where's the greatest health facilities?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so if you
It's
want
true.
to do that, education, if you those that want to live on a farm. I mean, you look at when historically other epidemics,
Right.
and people during the polio epidemic, people would always leave apparently all the cities and go to Montana.
Right.
And so there
Right.
was big estates out in
Yeah.
Montana that people would do that for fresh air.
Yeah.
This is just the normal ebb and flow,
Ebb and flow. Yeah.
and New York City, Manhattan, we're such a small island. Are we going to have pent up demand? That's
Oh,
what brokers always think, that,
yeah.
we're always positive.
Yeah. We're always trying to be
Uh, you
positive.
know,
I know.
yeah, and I think that it's a very much more complicated scenario that
Yeah.
we're dealing with now, with and how we then approach it. I mean, you look at the mortgage rates are so artificially low. The stock market, pick a day, and it might be up, it might
Yeah.
be down.
Yeah.
You know, and You know,
So
and I mean, thank God for Canada. That's
yeah,
always our. You ask any New Yorker, that's their. You're like
their go-to
back
place.
pocket. You know,
Listen,
Richard Silver's card.
yeah, let me ask you one question, okay? So you've got the two boys there, you've got your two sons
Yes.
there, and your partner, and nobody has been murdered as yet.
No, my husband is being extraordinarily patient. After the first 2 days, he turned around and he realized chaos was about to descend on our home, and so he gave us all assignments, which so
Good,
he's regimented
great.
it. We went out and he then ordered on Amazon. We had no board games. So now we have Monopoly, we have Clue, we have Scrabble. It does kind of irritate our sons and me that Craig has won every single game.
Of Monopoly,
So
or
Monopoly,
I
everything.
would think you would be the best at Monopoly. You've been in real
I,
estate for so long.
I was the first one out. I bought the most expensive property and put houses on it, and I lost my shirt.
Oh, how games go to reality as well. Anyways, I
Exactly.
just want to say, stay safe, look after yourself, look after Craig and the boys, and I'm really glad to talk to you. I don't know about the beard. We'll have to discuss that at a later date.
Yes,
I mean, the reality is, what I want to know is what's Nikki doing without her hairdresser?
that's what everybody's like 1 week away from their true hair color.
Exactly.
So I mean, unlike
Yeah, yeah. Well, no comment. No comment. I'm
I know.
thinking. Maybe I have to get out the shears that we use for trimming our dog to do some shearing on the side of my
I
head.
know. I'm going to go for some little shoe polish.
Ah,
What they did in the old
that's a good
days.
thing. Listen. Here, Home Depot is open. You can find anything.
That's
And
it.
Costco. Anyways, again, thanks very much. I'm speaking with Kevin Brown from the Feild team in Manhattan. However, he's not in Manhattan at the moment. I didn't know. Apparently, it's 7 o'clock every night. People get out on their balconies and scream and yell and thank the hospital workers. I think
Right.
that's amazing.
Yeah, it is amazing, and I mean, that's what they're doing also in Italy,
Yeah,
and they're just trying to keep a spirit alive. And I mean, it's shameful that we are not protecting our frontline people. I mean,
yeah,
I know that the current president of the United States is that he loves to keep talking
right,
about that we're in a war. We've got
yeah,
to support
exactly. Well, we're
our
very
frontline people.
we're very lucky here. We've had, well, even since before I was born, we've had healthcare. Definitely we've had healthcare. Everybody has access to it. It is putting a push on our system, but we do have
Okay,
healthcare.
but see, now you just baited me, Richard, when you said before you were born,
Yeah,
because that's
well.
sent me off into another.
Anyways, thanks very much. I'm going to press the unrecord button now so we can't get into discussing our ages. And thanks again, Kevin Brown. Love you, and look after yourself. Stay
Love you
safe.
too.
Okay, take care. Bye.